Hello everyone, it's your boy Shock and Schlocky Toppy. Haha, just kidding, it's Spooky Uracilloid. I remembered the password, yay! And I'm back, I guess. I just didn't have time really to do this channel. Well, I did have time. I mean, these videos are literally just 5 minutes recording and then they're out, but hey, never mind, it's been a while. I'm reviewing a movie. Yay, I'm back. I'm reviewing movies. I've been talking all day because I've been recording my full collection video, which, if all goes to plan, should come out next week. And right now it's 7.5 hours long. I am not kidding. I think last year was 7 hours. It's gonna be longer. It's probably gonna be like 9 hours long. I don't know why. Anyways, I purchased this recently. I just realized there are titties on the cover. Oh, YouTube won't like that. Which is ironic because there's like one nudity scene in this and you barely see anything. But hey, they needed to sell the movie somehow, and it's the Hammer Horror Collection. So yeah, it's a Hammer film, British cinema. We're going all classy and shit. Well, at least that's what I thought, but this is 1971 Hammer, and anytime I am always shocked at how kind of exploitation-y they went with their movies, especially after like Vampire Lovers. Always get the two confused. They're very different. Both of them I love, and Vampire Lovers is really good. I might talk about that on the main channel because I can thumbnail some titties and people can click on it. I'm not crazy, and it'll give me a way to talk about Hammer films on my main channel because that's what the people who sub to me from my solo video want to learn about. Hammer films. Anyways, I'm always shocked at how exploitation-y they got, and this one was really like a revelation on how exploitation-y they got. The kills in this are kind of violent for what I expect Hammer films to be. I mean, Hammer kind of brought the blood and the boobs to the whole like traditional horror film structure, you know, with Frankenstein, Dracula, and all the rest of like these inspired by that universe kind of films, but I just didn't expect it to be that graphic. And in this, like, the first kill is amazing. I jumped out of my seat like, oh damn, they went there. The lady breaks like a mirror to, you know, look at yourself. She slices the throat of another lady. You see just the blood splatter, and then she sticks it in her throat. She stabs the lady in her throat after slicing it. Really nice. The special effects, you can clearly see it's just, you know, blood dragging around, and it's not like actual like slit throat effects, but it's edited very quickly where you barely notice it. I was kind of surprised at the effects in this, I guess you could say. The plot. It's really interesting. So there's this little girl who the film begins with this little girl in a bed. Her mother is kind of worried. A man comes in there, and the mother is like, oh, they finally found who Jack the Ripper is, because this is a story about Jack the Ripper. This is a film kind of based on the legend more so than the actual events of Jack the Ripper. And then she figures out that her husband is Jack the Ripper, and he stabs her in front of his daughter, and then he kisses her daughter on the cheek. That is very important because then we go to the future, and the girl is now like 17, which is weird for one of the scenes where we see her not dressed, but never mind, this was the 70s, and she lives with her aunt, who is a psychic. Of course, she's not a real psychic, she's just a charlatan, and in that seance, she like kind of does voices of like a kid or somebody related to one of the persons in there, and in that audience are two important characters: Dr. John and some politician dude, and then there's Dr. John's son, and then there's two random assholes who just wanted to be in a seance. That's not important. And anyways, Dr. John They got done the seance. Dr. John sees somebody behind a curtain. He steps on her foot. She's like, oh, and we see that it's Anna, the little girl from the beginning. And then Dr. John goes with his son. They go to a carriage, and they're like, this was total bullshit. Then he tells his son to go home without him. He'll wait for a taxi, I guess, a cab. And then we get to see the politician dude basically try to sleep with Anna. But here's the twist. She is prostituted by her aunt. So not only does she use Anna as a way to make it look like she can speak to spirits, she's also prostituting her niece, which is not good. And then the politician dude is like, is there, and he's trying to, get in, and he's not happy because she doesn't want to put out, and he starts slapping her. The auntie walks into the door. She basically comforts her daughter, and then she kisses her niece, and then she kisses her on the cheeks, which sends her into a frenzy, and we get the first kill of the film. It's off screen, and we can assume that it's the politician, but it's not. And that's where this movie's interesting twist comes up. The next day, they're called upon to the police, and Dr. John doesn't say that he saw the politician leave, because Dr. John kind of has doubts about the whole thing. So here's the twist of the film, is that Anna is actually the killer. It's not the politician, it's Anna. And the way she kills is she is possessed by the spirit of her father being Jack the Ripper. So she kills people in the same style as Jack the Ripper, which leads to a very interesting film. And during that time, we get kind of the dichotomy of the politician just wanting to punish Anna for crimes of murder, and then Dr. John, who is very much influenced by Dr. Freud, who wants to study and understand Anna. So that's where we kind of get the conflict in this film. And overall, I really enjoyed this one. I really like these Hammer films. I'm a big Hammer guy. I haven't watched many of them. I barely watch any of their Frankenstein movies, but the ones I watch I liked. I really like their Dracula stuff. I like their Phantom of the Opera take, adaptation, whatever you want to call it. So I'm a big Hammer guy. But I do really like these early 70s Hammer films, because as I said, I like my sleaze, I like my exploitation. So whenever Hammer kind of went away from their roots of being proper British films, they really went with the down and dirty route, and I really like that. I like Hands of the Ripper, I like Vampire Lovers, and I do love Vampire Lovers a tad more than this, but this was super enjoyable. I really like the twist on the whole Jack the Ripper thing. They could have just gone with, the traditional Jack the Ripper type of film, and I would have probably liked it, but they were like, nah, we need a beautiful young lady to murder other beautiful ladies. That's what we need. And then there's the plot of this Dr. John's son getting married, and the little lady that chaperones them is so hilarious. She kind of brings a certain sense of comedy to this, where she really wants to chaperone her to protect, their reputation, because these are very proper, rich, upper class British people. So the reputation is important. They can't be seen together before they're married. And also his wife, Dr. John's son's future wife, is blind, which is not treated as a joke, but it does lead to some funny physical comedy. She drops a cup, but it does make the ending sequence a lot more tense, because she doesn't see what's coming to her. I won't spoil anything, but let's just say that the blind character is important in the ending, and it makes it really tense. Yeah, this is a really, really good film. I know it's not everybody's favorites from the reviews I've seen. I do really like the kind of supernatural aspect, but also the very logical aspect of Dr. John, and he brings kind of a logical explanation until he can't explain it. Yeah, overall, it's a really enjoyable film. Don't like it as much as Vampire Lovers. Vampire Lovers is probably like an 8.72. It's really close to a 9. This one is like in the 8.13, or maybe even I'd go 8.27. Yeah, that's my rating. That's my rating, because the ratings on this channel are very logical and specific. Yeah, if you like Hammer films, if you like Hammer films, if you like these Victorian kind of period pieces, British horror films from the 70s, I don't see why you wouldn't like this one. Especially if you're a Hammer fan. Yeah, this one's really good. I like this one. It's a thumbs up from me. It got 2 thumbs up. The pussy. I like this one. Go watch it. I just remember now why I don't do these videos anymore. This sucked.